What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Swanted Productions for the Love of Sports. My name is Robert Swan. I am the host of this channel. Today, I'm joined by Dustin Hunt, my fellow friend for the Unwrapped Sports community. We are going to be talking about what is happening to the Las Vegas Raiders today. But before we dive into everything, Dustin, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and give everyone that's viewing a little details about yourself. So go ahead.
All right, what's up, guys? Name is Dustin, obviously. Part of Unrest Sports. Big on Fights USN, so that comes on every week, mostly, unless we don't have the chance to do it. That's one of my bigger ones. Other than that, I just kind of gonna jump around and get on streams and join panels and stuff like that. So let's get it on, man.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. The first topic we want to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders today is John Gruden. So yesterday, John Gruden stepped down after emails were discovered in which he made homophobic and misogynistic remarks. Now, today, we're not really going to get into what he said. We're not going to get into what is politically correct. We are just primarily going to focus on this channel about sports and how this affects the Las Vegas Raiders. So, Dustin, with that being said, how do you think that the dropping down and no longer having John Gruden as a coach is going to affect the Raiders going forward?
Obviously, losing a head coach is never a good thing, especially mid-season, especially early in the season. They're kind of just getting their wheels going. I mean, obviously, they took two losses in a row, but that obviously doesn't help either.
Yeah,
But
I don't think it helps either, especially with it being so early. The Raiders are currently kind of in a slump with losing 2 games in a row. But do you think that the offense and the defense is primarily going to change here? Do you think that the Raiders are going to be a new team, kind of?
no, I believe they still had the same staff in place and just upgraded a coach that was on the staff to be the interim. Unless they hire a coach mid-season, I mean, I guarantee they're not. It wouldn't make sense. They have to change schemes, playbooks. So I don't think that would make sense to really change who they are. Play calling might change a little bit because Gruden obviously isn't on the mic, but I mean, we'll see. I don't think their defensive or offensive schemes are gonna switch up too much. I think it's gonna look pretty much the same, except you don't have John Gruden screaming on the sidelines. I think that's about the only thing that they're gonna miss.
Yeah, should be interesting going forward. I think John Gruden stepping down as of right now will save the Raiders a lot of turmoil versus him staying with the Raiders as a head coaching job. Because in today's world, if he stayed as the coach, I feel like the Las Vegas Raiders as an organization would be receiving a lot of, let's say, quote unquote, drama going on. And I think that would ultimately take away from them playing football. And when John Gruden stepped down, he did say that he did no longer want to be a distraction for the Las Vegas Raiders. So I think him stepping down was the right call. And going forward, I think they're just going to be focusing on football, really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's gonna linger a little bit. The locker room is probably sort of pissed off. I don't know specifics, but some of them could be. But again, I mean, the Raiders organization's hands was tied, to be honest, and they really had no choice. I don't think they wanted to do this, but obviously, you really have no choice. Like there's nothing they can do. It's either he resign or they embarrass them by firing him. So
Yeah,
that's
I
the
think
two.
I think you're right when it comes to that. So with that being said, let's dive into a little bit about the Raiders and what's been going on. So, the Raiders impressively started off 3-0 with wins against the Ravens, Steelers, and Dolphins. It's pretty good, but as of the last 2 games, they have lost to the Chargers and the Bears. So, what a problem that I've been recognizing, especially within the last 2 games, is that they started out in a deficit versus the Chargers and the Bears, whether it's a 1 touchdown or a 2 touchdown deficit. And something I noticed is that the offense is only putting up the last 2 games 14 points and 9 points. After the first 3 games, they went 33 points, 26 points, and 31 points. So, Dustin, do you think that this could possibly be an offensive problem that is happening with the Raiders?
Well, I mean, I can't really argue that it isn't. I guess. I mean, obviously they're not putting points on the board. But it could all depend. I believe Josh Jacobs. I mean, he's a big part of that. When you don't have your kind of your star running back and the guy who actually pushes the pace a little bit, controls the clock. It's kind of hard to be successful. Now they got away with it for a couple games, but they're going to stop getting away with it, and that's what happens. Like teams have game tape on you, so after the first 3 weeks, they're looking, and they're going to find weaknesses. In the NFL, you're going to take losses. You're going to take a couple in a row. Chargers, I really don't blame them for, because let's be real, Chargers are top notch. So,
They're
but
looking good this year.
The Bears was definitely winnable. But again, you never know. Bears have a good defense. I'll put that out there. Their offense isn't very formidable. Their defense can definitely hold their own. That very well could have just stunned them. The Chargers defense is also very good. So a lot of people need to understand that. They face two top NFL defenses. I mean, they're stingy. And fortunately for the Bears, they got a little bit going on offense. Justin Fields wasn't too terrible. It is what it is. Derek Carr is facing a really good defense. I mean, 2 weeks in a row. So
True. It could just be that they are in a slump the last two games because Derek Carr was playing out of his mind the first three games I think he was leading the league in throwing yards per game. Yeah, I think they have 8 touchdowns through the air versus 4 on the run game. They have all the weapons in my mind on offense, so I think this could just be either inconsistency or a slump because, like you said, they got Josh Jacobs back now. They have Kenyon Drake in the backfield. They have Peyton Barber, who did not bad while Josh Jacobs was out for 2 games. For receiving core, they got Henry Ruggs III. They got Darren Waller, who, in my mind and a lot of people's mind, is a top 5 tight end. Got paid the money for it too. They have Hunter Renfrow. They have the pieces going forward on offense. So it should be interesting to see going forward with this dramatic scene of John Gruden stepping down, how that will affect the offense, because that's what I want to get into next, because next game is very, very important for the Las Vegas Raiders. After losing 2 in a row, they are going to play the Denver Broncos, a huge divisional game. And let's not hate on the Broncos. They're doing efficient this year. They're doing solid. They're not bad. They're another great defensive team. So how do you think that game is going to be next week?
I agree with you when it comes to the Broncos. I think they're efficient. I don't think they're good per se, but they're pretty efficient. You got Teddy Two Gloves. I mean, that he's a really good. How do I put it? He's really good at controlling the game. He doesn't make that many mistakes. He doesn't kill you, but he also doesn't put you over the edge. Um, it depends. It really just depends how the Broncos on offense perform. The Broncos' run defense has been kind of put out there a little bit this year. So they still have a really good pass rush. Don't get me wrong, but their run defense it's iffy. I mean, you can get some carries on them. It all depends. Derek Carr has to play well. I mean, he can't stink up the place. I mean, that's a definite. So therefore, I think the Raiders defense can. I think they can compete with the Broncos on offense. So we'll see. But I do kind of agree. This is a must-win game. I mean, don't drop 3 in a row.
I definitely think it is a must-win game too as well. I'm currently looking up whether it's going to be in Denver or if it's going to be in Las Vegas, because that is a huge part of the game too. So let's see here. Okay, so it is at Denver, which kind of makes it possibly a little bit harder because temperatures can be quite cold in Denver sometimes. So with that being said, who do you think is taking this game? Because I think the Broncos are possibly 3-2 as well right now. So who do you think is taking this game next week? We got the Broncos or we got the Raiders?
I think with the turmoil that's going on with the Raiders right now, switching coaches, and it's like I said, I don't think their offensive scheme is going to switch up, but I think the play calling will, because John Gruden was obviously the play caller. And let's be real. He called the offense, so it's going to be on someone else's shoulders. It'll look a little bit different, but not too different. Probably have to give it to the Broncos. To be quite honest, I think they might pull out this game.
Interesting. So the last topic we want to talk about in this video is, should we be concerned for the Raiders going forward? Because they are in a tricky division. They play the Broncos next week, who are currently in their division with the same record. They also have the Chargers in the same division, who are currently 4-1 and are looking pretty solid. And last but not least, they have the Chiefs, and you cannot sleep on the Chiefs at all. So should we be worried about the Las Vegas Raiders going forward, potentially missing playoffs?
Absolutely. First of all, I mean, they're going to make third place in that division. So let's be real. They got to play really tough teams. I know the Chiefs are kind of on a downslide, but to be honest, they're not better than the Chiefs. The Chiefs definitely can beat the Raiders. It's pretty. I think it's pretty believable. But I don't think they're going to the playoffs at all. I'm being completely honest. I think they're going to finish third, and if they're unlucky, they'll finish fourth. Especially with the head coaching change and the drama going on. The locker room probably got a little bit shook. So no, I don't think they're making the playoffs, and I definitely would be concerned going forward, to be honest.
I would have to agree with you on that aspect, just with all the turmoil that has happened with the coaching staff and John Gruden stepping down. I think that this is going to add a little bit more drama. They are in a tough division as well. They have to play those teams, I believe, three of the teams twice, one of the teams once. So going forward, I am also going to say that the Las Vegas Raiders and Vegas Raiders fans should be very concerned because it is not looking good. But that is personally both our own beliefs. Without further ado, just to end this video, do you have anything else left to say, Dustin, about the Raiders or any of the football teams going forward?
Um, I think like I said, we'll get to it, but I think the Chiefs have a very interesting situation. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I think the Chiefs are one of the teams that really need to kind of sit back and figure out what we're going to do here. That's really about it. The Raiders, I already understand. Chargers are going to finish probably top in the AFC, and the Kansas City though they kind of need to take a long look at what's about to happen the rest of the year. To be honest, so
Yeah,
let's see.
yeah, I agree. And we will touch up on the Chiefs in another video coming for you guys. My name is Robert Swan, and I am the host of this channel. If you haven't, please subscribe to Swanted Productions for the love of sports. Dustin, anything else left to say before we end this video?
No, nothing much, man. I think we got
All
it
right.
out.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. And you never know, maybe the Raiders will bounce back, but we will just have to wait and find out. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Stay safe.